Interest Group meeting, January 26, 2024. It will be an even better year. Okay, that was my corny joke. Even? Yes, better year. All right. So we're so glad y'all are all here. Thank y'all for coming. It's exciting because we had a whole nice year before, and we're getting better. All of us working together. And we are going to go around first, real quickly, just to remember who we all are and why we're here. So, Catherine Holcomb, President of St. Mary Excel.
Monica Mancuso, St. Mary Excel.
Kelly Boudreaux, St. Mary Excel, and President of the National Friends Group of the National Estuarine Research Reserve.
Duval Walker, Mayor of Berwick.
Name Askew, Councilwoman in Berwick.
Gregory Driscoll, Driscoll Martin.
Laura Meadows, Senator Robert Allen.
Lud Henry, Mayor Pro Tem of Berwick.
Cindy Cutrera, Port of Morgan City.
I'm Bryce Morrow with the Diamond and RV Museum.
Virgil Allen with the Rig Museum.
Angelina Mercado, board member for Hospital Service District Number 2.
Greg Chauvin, Explore Morgan City.
Hannah Roy, City of Morgan City.
Charles Solo, City of Morgan City.
Kelly Stansberry, Cajun Coast Tourism.
Dean Planners,
Jacob DeRossi with Ever Jones in Morgan City. Lou Champarola, City of Morgan City.
And you.
Roger Bodian with the IC. Thank you very much.
Someone over there.
And
Beth Chasson, Secretary Chamber of Commerce.
great. And Mike Ricotta with the Levy District will be back in the room, possibly. Oh, and later on, John Paul, we're in the middle of introductions, so if you want to.
John Paul, St. Mary Parish.
Great.
And then for all the late arrivals, we put you first on the agenda.
So first on the agenda, we just wanted to talk about the Resilience Lab and the progress that we've made so far. The parish's application has been approved for the year of planning, which would begin as soon as the contract is officially has officially gone through, but it's there and we're getting ready. So Jean-Paul.
Before we turn it over to Jean-Paul.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, before we turn it over to Jean-Paul, we really wanted you to know that when ULI was here, they were so specific in what they recommended. And although we're now, officially designated with the Atchafalaya National Estuarine Research Reserve, it has not taken away from the need to have resilience, and this being an ideal site. In fact, resilience and the ANER go hand in hand. So because the governor in November was having a meeting of the task force, and because this has been our plan since 2018, 2019, and the parish as a group, as a community, we spent $135,000 to say what would be great for diversifying this economy. We have not left that just because the ANER is here. We had done 10 applications before the parish partnered with us, and that came to be. So just going back to the slide a minute, Catherine. We made comments in a state meeting, because you just don't go and say we're doing this and that's separate, it's all together. So we thought it was very important. Go ahead.
And you can watch, we have the YouTube video on our site. If you want to see the comments, we specifically asked that Morgan City be the site for this Resilience Lab. And we think that's really important that we keep pushing that. And we all as a group and a community support that.
Since in 2019, y'all gave us letters of support for Resilience Lab. We pulled those letters because now they're going to need to be updated. Because with the parish moving forward, once the year of planning is there, we've got to have funds for construction. So there's lots of grant money, and we're starting our grant writing again based on what our partnership with the parish. So we'll be making an appeal to you either as a representative of a group or as a formal body to update and to partner in some cases, in lots of cases, with us as we move forward in seeking funds. So, Mr. Jean-Paul, now, thank you.
I was on the phone making sure I had all my information correct with our consultant that's helping us with this, Aptum. And so we got the application approved, it was submitted and approved, but they needed to make a adjustment to it or a change to make it a non-construction application, so that's not going to be a big deal. The other thing that they told us they will need from us is a conflict of interest policy that we've had to show them that we have that in place. We'll have to submit that to them, but that's something that I think we already have. If not, we'll put together and get that to them. Then after that, we can have our kickoff meeting with the Water Institute. So we're there. We're pretty much ready to go. The only thing they need is that conflict of interest information from us. We'll get that to them as soon as we can. And then we'll schedule the kickoff. And so we'll be able to get started.
So many of you will be invited back as stakeholders to help plan this. And we, since kicking off in 2019 in the ULI study, we have a new partner. We have Atchafalaya Intercoastal Coalition. I'm glad Roger's meeting got canceled today because they're officially partnering to help, because the industrial group is so important that everything is up and running and in good faith and alignment with how it is planned. So big news. I think it's big news. So thank you, Mr. Jean-Paul, for...
Yeah, we answered all their questions. We got the application approved. They had a few questions with that. Y'all, the Water Institute and St. Mary Excel got them what they needed to understand exactly and approve the application. So I think we're almost ready to kick off the water.
So we will come back to you personally and ask for those letters of support and in some cases strong partnerships. So thank you for the ones we've received, but they're outdated now and we need to update them to be current in line with how we're moving forward in doing a very good job, because the Water Institute will guide us through the process and making it something that'll be useful to our area. Any comments or questions?
So what are the letter of conflict, what are the conflicts?
It's just a policy.
Resiliency Lab and whatever.
It's just a policy they want to make sure we have in place, because this is federal dollars, and of course there's always a bunch of red tape. And so they just need to show that you've got this conflict of interest policy in place for to use their funds, because this is federal funds we're using to pay for this project.
Kind of no crossover between what we're doing and what's on
No, it's not, yeah, it's really nothing saying we have any conflict of interest. It's just a policy that you got to show that you have in place. Yeah, just a formality.
I think this pretty much is just a slide reinforcing what we just said. However, there is a virtual meeting, and we put it up there, but it's really a virtual meeting. If you care to tune in, you may. We don't plan to, but it's a coastal carbon working group. It might be something that AIC might want to tune into. We put it in because we had received notice that they would be having it. So,
or possibly a business. Evan's not here. We were thinking possibly economic, for economic reasons.
To be
we don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. We're not industry people. So.
He's on his way.
Right.
We thought yeah, we knew he was coming. And so here, I have to look at the date. In January, St. Mary Excel.
January 9th and 10th.
Thank you. Well, we went January 9th, and Kelly went both days. We went to Baton Rouge, and we presented to the Gulf of Mexico Coastal Zone Management and National Estuarine Research Reserve Partners meeting. And so they asked us to come because Kristen from NOAA and the head of NOAA and Dr. Roberts had come earlier to Morgan City, and we met at the Cajun Coast with Carrie also. And they asked us to come and present that information and some more information to their meeting, to all of these partners. And these were all NERA people and Gulf Coast Zone Management people. I'm going to let Kelly talk a little bit more about it, but if you look at the booklets that we're passing out right now, we passed those out and we focused on the information in that, just to give them background on the work that has been done to get ready for the NER. And you can look through the booklets. We need to get the booklets back. And we want to thank L&H Printing, who's been so wonderful helping us with this. They just help us. Anytime we ask, they're there for us. And if you look through the booklet, we have some Photoshop things in there. But Kelly's going to discuss some of that. If you have any questions about any of that before we go on, I'm not going to go through each page in that book. You've seen a lot of that information, but we're going to ask that you just leave that when you leave. That's also a bad copy to tell you how wonderful L&H was. They printed and made mistakes, so they reprinted again for us, and we fixed the mistakes. We gave the corrected copies out at the meeting. We had some font problems in this one, so if some things don't make sense in it, that's because of the font problems in the printed copy. So anyway, look through that. Kelly's going to talk a little bit more about what we actually did and what we said. And I'm going to go to the next slide. Sure. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, before I do, Dr. Roberts is going to be here, St. Mary Chamber Luncheon on May 29th, 2024, and we need to make sure that we're there to hear what he's going to say about the National Estuarine Research Reserve here. He is the lead. He's the head of LUMCON, and along with Dr. Kim Hunter Reed, who is the Chancellor. Yeah, she's the Chancellor of Higher Education in Louisiana. They're going to be the ones that are directing the movement on this. So I'll go to the next slide. And this is a Photoshop. Kelly's going to talk about that. That is not an actual sign. Evan did take the picture before with St. Mary Excel's business sign, but we put a new sign there. And Kelly's going to get one made, but that's just a Photoshop.
That's a video clip.
I have the clip. It may work. You want me to try?
I'll tell you when. Okay, so when we presented at the Gulf Coast regional meeting, we really discussed like what St. Mary Excel has been doing to promote the community or help the community understand what the NEAR will do for us and getting the community involved. And one of the things I think we've talked about is why we got chosen is because the community stood behind it so big. And it was talked about I went to the national conference and they talked about it. They heard about how we showed up at the meeting, we had 130 people. It was amazing to hear that. I am just like so impressed by this system, and I want y'all to understand how excited I am about it, us being involved, and just how important it is for us to be involved. I'm going to talk a little bit about where we are with it, because it seems like it's taken a long time. Like everybody I talk to, like, when is it happening? When are we going to be, when's it coming? Right now, they're still drafting the EIS plans and the management plan. It's taken a little bit longer, but honestly, it's taken a lot faster than it usually does for the NEARs. They've sped up the process, but we were hoping to get those drafts by January. It probably will be in the next 3 months that we have them coming through. I'll keep you updated because I think everyone should be looking at those when they come out, because we have to give public comments. And it's going to be a short window for you to give your comments and be like 45 days. Because they want to move this so that we get designated by the end of the year. So it's going to move fast once things start to happen. What we understand is they're still going back and forth on the boundary lines. And like Jean-Paul said, it's federal and state, so there's a lot of red tape to go through, a lot of signs, a T's to cross and I's a dot, that some of it we don't understand, but that's why it's taken so long. But what we do know, and it's been said publicly, is we will have facilities in Morgan City. And we're going to show the clip real quick. And Dr. Brian Roberts mentioned it twice, at the LUMCON opening and at the regional meeting.
And the LUMCON opening she's talking about is the dedication of the Blue Works building in Houma by the port. So, and they were able to go to that as well.
Collective strengths, and part of what we're going to be doing, ultimately we want to have a facility based in Morgan City, but we also want to make sure that the NERV has a presence much broader than that. And so in our new building in Houma that just had a ribbon cutting last month, both the NERV and FitNet both have offices in those buildings. help facilitate collaboration, but also provide a meeting place where they can be gathering. Building has lots and lots of meeting spaces associated with it. And the other thing is that I mentioned sort of what I refer to sort of the arms of LUMCON. You got the research and science program, education outreach, successful lab operations, and the facility and resources, plus those two facilities, two affiliates, the BitNet and the Atchafalaya NERD. Those, with me as executive director, that is the management team in the new scheme for how LUMCON operates. So they all have a collective input. We're have the ability to supply the financial resource, the finance back end of things, the IT support, all that fits in with our overall network.
And this was just a clip of what he was talking about. He also spoke about the Blue Works facility is not it's not the LUMCON facility. Cocodrine is the LUMCON facility. Because at the meeting, when we were at the meeting, we just had rain. It was the day before was that really bad storm, and they had water in the building too. So we are in such a good location right here because we are a safe harbor, right, Cindy? Okay, go ahead, keep going.
And what he mentioned too with the staffing in the Blue Works building, there's like little cubicles, like 2 little cubicles in the building, one for just the staff to go in and out so they can collaborate. And what I'm understanding, I'm not promising this, but staff will be here too with the facilities and everything. Now, the facilities is probably about 5 years away, so we have to be patient for that. What we'll first see is staff and the education piece coming into our area. The monitoring system will be the first thing that we'll see coming out too. As far as the Friends group, so we have our paperwork in and waiting for it to get accepted as a 501c3. But the Friends group is there to support the NEAR to be successful because there will always need more funding. And from what NOAA requested of us is to be the fiscal agent for grants to support LUMCON and the work they're doing in managing the reserve.
And you can see, I think in the last page, close to the last page in the booklet that you have, we focused on Carrie's building as, because she actually she sent notice that she's got empty office buildings, and Brian's very aware of that, Dr. Roberts, that we have those office buildings so that while we're planning it, we have space here for them to come and get started. Questions, I think?
Oh, and we got t-shirts already. For
yeah, but we can't do
And we
it.
gave one to Brian and the group at NOAA.
But that's actually, that's a Photoshop too. So he's not really wearing the shirt yet, but we did give it to him at the meeting. We did give it to him, but we did that too.
Yeah, the Friends group is established, or it's not, or it's in the process of being?
Process. The paperwork is in. We're just waiting for it to be approved as a 501c3.
Okay. And Catherine, so there's no pushback, like they're not saying that they want you all or the Lanier to be in Blue Works?
No, it would be like an office where you could go and find more information. So there'll be
like a research repository, or an archive repository,
or just an office for somebody to say you need to go.
I was concerned about that because you know these buildings are so expensive to operate, and I really thought that there would be some move that they would want this to be housed in that facility to help pay for it long term.
No, we're not going to let that happen.